innocent child of God. Within the innocence is the realization that everything is new, that everything in the spiritual journey becomes a new moment, a new opportunity, a new learning every day. The skin of the ego starts to disintegrate in the everyday newness. The ego's claim to power is not new at all, and it has nothing new. It does not give you the opportunity of renewing and becoming new. The ego depends on the past. It depends on what you already know. No, nothing new, nothing being made aware of for the first time, or it's all old, familiar from the past. That's the ego's domain. And so as you want and invite the newness, when you invite the innocence, the child within, you open to not knowing and being available for another way. And that is necessary, because the knower has everything already set and has no space for the transformation. The ego knower is depending on repeat performance, repeat the same beliefs, the same actions, the same reactions. Because in the known, there is it's upside down, but it's a place that it gives an upside down kind of comfort because it's known, because it's familiar. And that is the game that the ego plays, is that use of the familiar. But the greatest gift to the divine self is the willingness to be in the newness of truth, and to realize that sometimes the truth comes as such a surprise because of its totality and its inclusiveness of everything, that it's sometimes rejected because it's so unfamiliar. And the calling is to really see that God is not going to lead you into anything that is not absolutely, breathtakingly perfect for you. And all the newness, all the innocence is what helps the most, and it can be embraced as a comfort, the comfort of God's love that is transforming and offering you transformation. You are so loved that transformation is constantly offered. So in this innocence, to receive and to accept divine teachings, the innocent heart affirms that this universe is all love and that nothing else really exists at all. And in this present moment, the affirming that this sanctuary is filled with love, that this is the sacred moment of God's love, as is every moment. The yes to the innocence, the yes to the purity, the yes to begin again today in the newness of discovery of truth. One of the ways of learning to follow, which is so essential and embraces the innocence so deeply, is to follow the Divine Mother, to allow the wisdom of the Divine Feminine to lead you, show you, and comfort you with the truth of this exquisite comfort and gentleness that is always with you, the Divine Mother, always with every innocent beloved. Allow yourself to be comforted in, even if you're not aware that the Divine Mother is with you. I promise you, she is. Another name for the Divine Mother is the Rainha da Floresta, the Queen of the Forest, the Queen of the earth, the one that brings the divine spirit of all creation into manifestation. The allowing of that divine mother's vibration to be leading you in every moment. Rainha da Floresta, I will follow where you lead. I am going where you lead me, I will go. Rainha da Floresta, I will follow where you lead. I am going where you lead. I am going to you, Mother, to be healed. She takes me in her arms, and to her I must go. Rainha da Floresta, I am going where you lead. I am going where you lead me, I will go. Rainha da Floresta, I love you so. Rainha da Floresta, where she leads me, I must go. I am going to my mother to be healed. I am going to the truth and to be real. I am going to my Father, and it's true. Oh, my mother, lead me home. It's now up to you. I am going to be healed in the heart of love. I am going into love. Rainha da Floresta is calling us home. Come, my brothers, come, my sisters, come with me. Let's go. Rainha da Floresta, I love you so. All of these hymns that speak to the Divine Mother are there to spark that remembering within you. of this divine light that never lets you go and always brings gentleness and peace. I ask that you hear me as I ask to remember the truth of forgiveness. I ask not only for me, I ask for all beloveds that walk the way of love. My Father, I am here ready for forgiveness. I am ready to forgive all the past that I have known. I'm willing to be washed clean, just as in the river. The boat which sails on the sea also sails in my heart. And the one who cleanses me remembers the truth of love with me. The divine light of the Christ. Meu Pai, peço que vos me ouça, para eu pedir o perdão. Eu peço não só para mim e os meus irmãos. Meu Pai, quando for perdoar, perdoa como e convém. Eu peço que Jesus me perdoe, como perdoou em Belém a vaca que corre no mar. Corre no meu coração, aquele que aqui batiza, batizou no Rio de Jordão. Wash me clean, empty my system of all beliefs of separation and limitation. This is the power that the Spirit of love holds, this ability to cleanse and transform. And all that you're called to is to surrender and to just let go of knowing and receive the blessings of those healings that are always being offered. Sometimes healings come that the ego has a preconceived notion about whether you like a healing or not. And it takes a beautiful courage to trust that the Holy Spirit is not going to bring healing to you that is not most helpful. The Holy Spirit is not going to put you in a direction that is not going to enhance your spiritual journey. It will never put you in the direction of a detriment. And that's why it's all about trusting and allowing. Removing the shoe from the temple. Once someone asked me, why do saints seek divine annihilation and are often humble and like to spend their free time upon their knees? And I replied, it's a simple matter of etiquette. Then they said, what do you mean? Well, I continued, when one goes into a mosque or a temple, is it not common to remove what covers your feet? So, too, does it happen with this whole mind and body that is something like a shoe soul. Removing the shoe when you enter the temple, Hafiz, the the invitation in this poem, in this teaching, is to remove everything, is to use the etiquette of removing the shoes in the temple or the mosque as a realization that you are removing everything, that you are letting everything go that has no truth. And so that when you enter into your temple, you can let it all go. And it's calling everyone to go beyond just removing the shoes of nice etiquette for the temple, but to let yourself be washed clean of everything. That the shoes are just the beginning of letting go. To truly let go. So too does it happen with this whole mind and body, because with the whole mind and body, everything's being let go. So, and the other thing is that to let go is basically as easy as taking off your shoes. Now, the ego mind wants everybody to say, oh no, it's really difficult, it's a struggle. And I certainly believed in the battle and the struggle, and the belief that it had to be hard in order to be purposeful. But the truth is that it isn't necessary for it to be hard. And it can be like removing your shoes. It can be with that easy to just kick them off and come empty into the temple in every way that you can. There is a misunderstanding sometimes that you come into the spiritual journey and you begin to embrace spiritual truths. And you have to really be with those spiritual truths because they are so not connected to the rules and beliefs that have been held in the world. They have no relationship to them. But a funny thing happens is that spiritual truths are often taken and beloveds will try to take those spiritual truths and accommodate them into the ego structure. For example, if something is bothering you and you don't know where it's coming from, what the ego wants to do is to take that and make sense out of it and come up with reasons within the world that there is an upset. So the ego will ask things like, are you mad at anybody? Did somebody call you a name? Did you steal anything? Did you hate going to work today? It's going to go back to the world for the reason for the upset. But in truth, you are called to actually bypass all of that self-made inquiry from the ego's viewpoint and go straight to the truth. So where does the process that the ego uses of seeing if you're upset about something, where does that go when the actual teaching from the Holy Spirit, from God, is that if you are upset, it's because there's nothing there? The ego is looking to find what's there and to make sense out of it. Oh, of course you're upset with Larry because he didn't show up on time. He didn't come when he said he was going to. So now I know what I'm upset about. No, you're upset because there's nothing there. And when you go straight to the truth, none of that processing of the world, it has any point to it. The Holy Spirit will take you straight to the truth. If you are upset, it's because you believe that there is something there when there isn't. And to take that truth and live it and bring it to this belief of being upset takes you deeply into spiritual transformation. And it can be immediate. Now, if Larry is still seemingly the problem, then it's going to sit within the world. But it isn't Larry that's the problem. It's the belief that someone can treat you unfairly by not showing up on time. And then the belief is that, oh, well, then let's get Larry on board here and make sure that he stays on time. And that will give you the fix that is, from the world's view, meaningful. But it won't help you heal. It won't take you into the healing that is at the bottom of the line, that there is absolutely nothing there. Now, how can it be that there is nothing there? So this is then the other part of the healing. Because here's a teaching that's in bold letters saying, if I am upset, it's because I see something that is not there. And this makes no sense in the world. So many beloveds end up trying to make sense and understand what that could possibly have to do with being upset and that it's not there. How can that be? But you really can't take the world view and try to adapt it to a spiritual teaching. It can't be. So the spiritual teaching has to be accepted as deeply as possible, and then practiced, really practiced, and used again and again until it becomes embedded in your heart, that you're so glad that there's nothing there, that the beloved who was known as Larry is not my enemy, that my upset about his lack or whatever I thought it was is upside down and inside out. And I'm hallucinating that something's there. And I have to accept that. I don't have to if I don't want to heal, but I have to accept that if I'm willing to heal and want to heal. And it is a leap of faith because it has no connection to this world. None. Everything in this illusionary world says cause and effect is what you see. Larry was the cause of my upset. I was at the effect of what he did in the ego mind. If Larry is the cause of my upset, then God cannot be my cause. I can't have both be the cause of my creation. And if God is my cause and I am the effect of God, then I have everything. And this beloved can't be the cause of anything for me other than love. seeing the Christ. He is not my problem. He is not a problem. That's in my mind. And that's what I'm healing, is the mind. I am never upset. I am upset because I see something that is not there. Look at the upset and name the form of the upset. Are you angry? Are you fearful? Are you? And why is this practice like this? This is part of the practice of letting go of that identity with upset. So the Holy Spirit is saying, okay, name what you think this is, and practice naming it so that you can see what you believe in. So I am angry at Larry because I see something that is not there. Now, in that practice, you're going against the ego. You're not listening to the ego. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I'm accepting that. I don't understand it. I cannot understand it because it's a mystery. It's a mystery of the universe of truth and love that I can't see with ego eyes. So I have to trust, and I have to accept the sacred teachings that make no sense to the ego's way of being in the world. For beloveds who have developed and honed their own system of figuring things out or repairing things, it's a lot of letting go, because a whole system that you built is being called to be surrendered. And a new way is replacing it. It isn't working together with the ego. It is a new way. It is the way of love, the way of the vibration of love that is calling you to recognize and accept that you can heal, that the Holy Spirit, the truth of God, can heal your belief of being unfairly treated by the world, that can be healed instantaneously in your surrender. To truly accept in your heart, when I am upset, it's because I see something that is not there. To accept that and to invite it into your being, that you are not going to hold Larry responsible for your mistaken ideas of the ego mind. And in that moment, you make that decision with God, because that is the direction that you're being shown to let go. That's how healing occurs, is in that trust, in that faith, that with any of the sacred teachings, transformation occurs. And I've said this before, but I'll say it till the cows come home. I could never have healed on my own. No way. This was insanity. I was insane. I hid it pretty well, but I was insane. I wasn't more insane than anybody else, but I was insane. And that insanity could not be healed by trying to figure out how Larry misrepresented me and disappointed me or angered me or whatever. None of that was true. And in that, then the teachings of forgiveness come with that, and you forgive yourself for having believed that you had enemies, or that someone could harm you, or that you could be unfairly treated by the world. Those are such entrenched beliefs from the ego that, and they're accepted. You see them everywhere. You see the proof of it everywhere. And yet the Holy Spirit is calling you to no longer use your own system of figuring out who's at fault or what's going on, but just go straight to the truth. If I am upset, it's because I see something that is not there. Love holds no grievances. When you start taking those spiritual truths and you put them together, oh my gosh, love holds no grievances. Now, I can't have another grievance because they're made up. It's what I don't see. And grievances are all the ideas of problems. Where's the grievance? Is someone doing something? No, no one's doing anything. So I cannot have a grievance. I will not hold a grievance. I want to be in peace, and I refuse this grievance. It's habitual, it's familiar, it's always connected somehow to another grievance that I've had at some other time, because that's what makes it familiar. But I could be free of grievances. And grievances are painful. Grievances, one of the beautiful, I think it's a Buddhist teaching, says that if you have a grievance, dig 2 graves, one for you and the other who you have the grievance with, because you're attacking both. And yes, it's pain to have a grievance. To hold any disturbance is putting yourself in pain. It serves nothing, because you could see peace instead of this. You could recognize that there's nothing there, that this is the illusion of what you've always believed. Every single time there is a disturbance, ask yourself, how familiar is this? And it will always be familiar. It will never not be familiar. As soon as you ask yourself the question, how familiar is this? The Holy Spirit will show you from the past the same belief, because it's always coming from the past. One of the elements that the ego holds, when the belief of wrongdoing comes from the past, when you believed you've been unfairly treated and it's familiar, you can be sure that that beloved that you believe has treated you reminds you deeply of somebody else, of something else, of some time that, and you believe that this beloved should make up for it. This isn't conscious belief. This is unconscious beliefs. There was a teaching once that I heard many, many years ago that, and this being said, if you go to buy a car and to the salesperson, I want you to give me a really good price, because the last 3 cars that I bought, I got taken. I paid too much, and I want you to give me the difference for what I paid for those last 3 cars. Well, nobody would expect that. And this beloved who you are upset with now, it isn't also going to make up for the belief that you were unfairly treated in the past. No one's going to make up for it, except that you can completely let it go. Now, when you enter a teaching like that and you practice it every day, and the purpose of the practice, when I am upset, it's because I'm seeing something that's not there. And there's a practice that goes with that of learning how to open to that, to the untruth and to the truth. And when you do that, you are not only affirming that you want this truth to be one with you, but you are following the guidance of the divine that this teaching has been laid out for every beloved, to show you the way to undo the mind, to actually let the mind be cleansed. And that we cannot do. And that's why the spiritual teachings are so immensely powerful, because they transform the ego's belief system at the same time that they illuminate the truth and show you the way to your true being. Everything is in the spiritual truth. So it's an amazing thing, because they just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. As how many times has everybody's been in this, where you know that you need to learn something, and everything in you says no. So where do you go with it? Do you say, okay, I gotta know, I'm not gonna practice or look into the spiritual truth today. But that no isn't your friend. If it's a genuine no, like it's not the moment for you, it will not be the same no as the ego's no of avoidance and to stay in the life with the ego. Is it terrifying to the ego when you enter and accept a spiritual truth? Yes. Yeah, it is. Because the ego sees that as the road to death, because you are going to let go of the ego. That's your intention. And so when that's your intention, the ego's very aware of that intention, and you can feel sometimes the resistance and even the fear of it. But it's a promise that as you use the spiritual teachings and practice them, as the Holy Spirit gives you the way of practice, it will unlatch your mind. It will take you into cleansing the mind. And there is true healing there. Deep, true, beautiful healing. And it's true of every spiritual teaching. I'm reminded, I don't know why, but it's such a beautiful teaching. It isn't a beautiful stuck in the ego. And you need to read this teaching in order to get into the release of this. But the teaching says you can detect the loyalty of your devotion by your moods, your reactions, and your thoughts. So if your mood, if your thoughts, if your reactions are in a disturbance, then you are right there aware that your loyalty is with the ego. In that moment, doesn't mean that your loyalty is with the ego in general, but in that moment, in that upset, your loyalty is with the world. But every moment you have that exquisite opportunity to change your mind and to begin again with innocence. Now, what the ego does is the ego says, I don't want to make a fool of myself by saying I made a mistake. I'm used to hiding my mistakes. I'm used to private thoughts, secret thoughts, so that I can have my private world. And in the journey of healing, you're being to bring all those private thoughts and all those secrets into the light, into illumination, so that it can be healed. And to not be afraid or to be prideful in trying to hold on to something that has absolutely no service or truth in it. And eventually, what I promise you is that in spiritual healing, all the secret thoughts, you're going to bring them to the light. And when those secret thoughts are brought to the light, it changes your whole relationship with the world, because you're no longer protecting something that you hold as your thoughts. You're not protecting them anymore. They're not to be protected and held and cherished. They're brought to the light, and then you have nothing to hide anymore. And it's such a place of freedom, so that you can say to anyone, yeah, I eat a chocolate cake every day. Yeah, I will continue to eat a chocolate cake every day. It doesn't matter what it is that you're saying. You won't care anymore. It's like, who are you keeping your secrets from? There's nothing to keep. It doesn't matter. There's no one to judge. And there's no fear anymore of being judged, because the reason for secret thoughts is because of the fear of judgment. That the world is a place of an enemy. And when you give all those secret thoughts to the Holy Spirit, you're saying, I don't have an enemy anymore. And I'm not afraid of anybody anymore. And I'm not needing to protect myself in an image or anything, because here it is. This is all that there is. It's just love. And there's nothing to protect, nothing to defend, and no one that you have to keep secret thoughts from. That the opposite is not true. That doesn't mean that secret thoughts now, all of a sudden, everything is going to be said in every conversation, so that there's no filter. The filter is only for, does it serve the beloved? Is what I have to say going to serve another? Because that's really the key to what is offered always. Is this helpful? The prayer, I'm here only to be truly helpful, has such power, because if you stay with that prayer in your everyday, you can reaffirm, I'm here only to be truly helpful. You to that awareness that what am I here for? Oh yeah, I'm here to be truly helpful, which means that means I'm being truly helpful to this heart and to the beloved who is one with this heart. I'm not going to offer anything that's not truly helpful. And only the Holy Spirit knows what that is. So it allows that I can relax. I can rest in God because the Holy Spirit is leading me. And an exquisite place to realize that you have nothing to hide, and that you're just here to be helpful, and you don't have to worry about what to say or what to do ever, because love will direct you. And imagine your life without that worry of what to say or what to do. That's where the hell is that we make, being worried about what we're going to say and what we're going to do, and whether somebody else is going to like it or not like it or criticize, but that's all in the mind. That isn't really anything at all. So you're opening into freedom, the freedom of love. The third line of that prayer is, I have to remember it. It's basically that God will direct me which way to go. And I will be healed as I let God teach me to heal. I will be the healer because I will offer healing with love, and I will be healed. And there is nothing in that prayer that says maybe. I will be healed. It is guaranteed. And if you follow the sacred teachings, if I'm upset, it's because I see something that is not there. And if you take all the sacred teachings, life transforms. Love transforms. And it becomes just so simple. When you contemplate the sacred teachings, it's miraculous. It's miraculous in itself that those are laid out so that they can be followed, practiced, embraced, accepted, and that you have the truth with you wherever you go. And you have the truth available to you in any moment that is needed for healing. It's miraculous to have that power be in your pocket. You have it all. And love will not leave you without. Uncover every possible upset. Welcome the upsets, not to make them up, not to fabricate them, but don't shy away from them. Oh, there's an upset. I can use this for healing because I made this up. And I want to follow. Now, is there going to be a reaction sometimes where the ego is going to say, yeah, but this is the exception. This is really the exception because nobody should be allowed to do blah, blah, blah. There are no exceptions. It's only love. It's only forgiveness. It's only peace. If I am upset, it's because I see something that's not there. And I align with love and trust the sacred teachings. And that becomes your transformation.